everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com, and I am back again with a backpack baking adventure. Today we're going to be taking our bikes out on the Trans-Canada Trail. And once we get to our backpack baking spot, I'm going to be showing you how to make a s'mores cake in a jar. It is so delicious and it is going to absolutely impress anybody. And don't worry, you can make it at home if you don't want to go backpacking. So let's get started on the few little things that we have to do before we head out on the trail. For a backpack baking recipe, we're going to be using prepared chocolate cake batter. And you can use your favorite, you could use ours, I'll put a link to it in the description box. We're also going to be using prepared chocolate ganache, I'll also put the link for that. And for the graham cracker crust, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. We're going to need a half a cup of graham cracker crumbs. And we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of butter that we're going to melt. And to top off our jars, we're going to be using marshmallows. We're going to prepare the graham cracker crust. So I have my graham cracker crumbs here in the bowl. I'm going to add in my 2 tablespoons of melted butter and my 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then just using a spatula here, I'm going to just mix it up until it's all incorporated. So I've placed all of my ingredients, now that I have the graham cracker crust prepared, into Ziploc bags. Obviously, if you are going to be making this at home, you don't need to worry about that step and you can skip the Ziploc bags. But since I'm going to be loading up my backpack with all this stuff, I want to make sure they stay sealed and nice and tight and there's no messes. I'm also going to pack my jars. You will need about a 500 milliliter little jar here with a lid if you want to keep them fresh for a couple of days. So I'm going to load everything up into my backpack, get the backpacking oven, and I will see you guys all on the trail. Hi again, guys. So we made it on the bike trail and we found the best spot that is like totally beautiful here, and we temporarily relocated this picnic table so we could have it for the backpacking oven so you get the full sight of everything. It is preheating to 350 degrees. So if you're doing this at home, make sure you have the same temperature and then follow the same steps as I'm gonna do. And I want you to check out these hoodoos that are right over my left shoulder. They're like big giant pillars of sand. They're so cool. Let's get started and putting this backpack baking jars into this oven. So I've got my graham cracker crust here and I've got my cake batter left in the bags. Now again, if you're doing this at home, you don't have to put them in the bags, but what you might want to do with your jar is just give it a coat of non-stick spray because that's going to help you get the cake out a little bit easier. So the first thing I want to do is I want to fill the bottom of the jar here with my graham cracker crust. Now you can put like as much as you want in or as little as you want. It's going to be totally dependent on your preference, and you can just adjust like the recipe amount that I showed you before if you want more. So you just have to make probably like a double batch. So I'm just tapping it down here with my little spoon there just to give it a little bit more solidity in the bottom. Now with my cake batter, this is going to be messy. I'm going to want to fill my jar up with about 3 of these scoops, and that's going to be about 3/4 of a cup. And when you're baking with a jar, it does rise quite a bit, so you want to make sure that as a rule you don't fill it more than roughly half full or even like 3/4 full. That's kind of touch and go at that point. And so it's looking pretty good, so I'm going to put a 4th scoop in here. And I think that will be, 3.5 there. That's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna fill up my other jars. So I've got the oven up to temperature, and I'm just going to put my jars in here. So you do the same exact thing at home. Just put them into your oven, just like that. And I'm just going to shut it and let them bake for about 40 to 45 minutes. So my cakes are baked. I've pulled them out of the oven, but I've still got the oven on because I'm gonna put my marshmallows on top first. And then once I've got the marshmallows on here, I'm going to pop back in the oven. Be careful that you're not touching the sides of the jars because they will be hot when you're putting the marshmallows on. Now, if you're at home, you're going to put them back into the oven, and if you can put it onto the broil function, you should do that and watch it really carefully for like 30 to 60 seconds so the marshmallows puff up nice and big and then golden brown. But because I don't have broil function, I'm going to put them back into the oven, and it's still going to heat them up and brown them, and it's going to take about 5 minutes though, so you just kind of want to watch it really carefully. Once the marshmallows are golden brown, you can take some ganache, and this is obviously extra. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just going to sprinkle it or kind of drizzle it on top here. Like delicious topping. And then I'm going to put a little bit of my extra graham cracker crumbs, just like this, and it's going to make an absolute delicious dessert. So there you go, everybody, how to make a s'mores cake in a jar and another backpack baking adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed the sights. It was so much fun to be able to bake this for you. If you're interested in more backpack baking, make sure you check out the link to the playlist in the description box below. So thanks again. Enjoy this cake when you make it. Make sure you send me a picture if you do, and I will see you guys all again next time. Bye.